The Mystery of BELICENA VILLCA. Second Book. The Letter of BELICENA VILLCA. Ninth Day. Amongst the chosen ones, who faced the test of the cold fire, 3 results could be expected. First, that some of them not approved the test, that is to say, that would have not passed through the effective experience of the death, either due to the initial terror not gave place to the animal passion, or because the warm fire not turned in terror, or just because the terror avoided to see the infinite blackness face to face, or by any other reason. In second term, that some of them had really died. And the last, that some of them would have resuscitated. In the first case, the chosen ones would be executed in the next night of the test of the cold fire. For the Tartusians Hierophants should not present to the test the one who will not be really disposed to die. Because from the test no one had to leave alive. If someone died, or resuscitated, who would reborn would not be who died but a son of the death, someone who would carry a signal of death and the death in himself. That is to say, a son of the death would be begotten in the death by himself. Who assisted to the test, and not died, not deserved to live. The executioner woman from Tartessos would hand down the stone axe over his neck. She would kill him the next night of the test, in the copse of willows consecrated to the moon goddess at the riverside of the Odile. What happened to them? No one certainly knew what would be their luck, if they really died forever, if they would resuscitate in another world, if they would reincarnate again in future lives, or if their souls would transmigrate to other beings. But how much lasted the test of the cold fire? Only the Hierophants, and those who have failed, and who would die too, knew it. Only they conserved the consciousness of the past time. Those who were reflected in the infinite blackness, and found the naked truth of themselves, received also a reflect of the eternity. The contemplation of oneself, what is a reflect of the eternal spirit, is experienced in a unique instant, not possible to be encompassed by the time of the creation. The chosen ones who find the caliber death of Pyrene could not respond never that question. The experience of the eternity is indescribable. For this reason, those from the second group, those who really died, were considered very loved by the goddess, because she had retained them for the eternity. And will realize the same funerals of the wise warriors to them. They would have the right to be incinerated with the sword in their hands, and an ashwood urn, with his ashes, would be later thrown to the Occidental Sea. In the third case, when exceptionally some chosen one returned from the death, was immediately incorporated to the Hierophants' College of Tartessos. The fact constituted a motive of celebration in all the realm, due to the population, who didn't understand esoteric quibblings, infallibly intuited that a son of the death meant a reward for the race. Even if he triumphed by himself in the test of the cold fire, the new Hierophant would be considered as the exponent of a collective merit, of a racial virtue. But the ancient Hierophants, who knew the secret, received with same joy the resurrected chosen one. There, signalized, a man of stone, a return from the death. Someone who in the death was loved with the caliber cold fire of Pyrene, and now keeps the remembrance of Elev. Someone who felt, beyond the love of life, the Elev of the caliber death, that is to say, the non-death of the caliber death, and now is immortalized as a son of the death. He was received in this form. O, Pyrene's chosen one, thou wast mortal but the Elev of a goddess hath freed thee from life. By the will of the Creator One, earthen thou wast. By the will of the caliber death, of stone thou art. O, son of the death, courage hath thy name. In silence, remain as thou just actest, and keepest in thine heart of ice the memory of Elev, but remember isn't just reviviest thyself, cold and mortal fire, man of stone. And, really, the man of stone would not talk, perhaps, for many years. He won't do it because he would be occupied experiencing himself. Because since the reborn, inside of his heart, over a deep fiber, was burning the flame of the cold fire, and that flame, when was perceived, spoke with the voice of himself, and its words always started with the name of the goddess. I am E. when hearing the voice of himself affirming I am, the man of stone really was, that is to say, he had absolute existence, out of the illusion of the material entities, beyond the life and the death. For this reason the man of stone would not talk, or would talk little, from now on. He was very closer to the wisdom of the white Atlantans, and that wisdom could not be explained to the asleep men, who loved life and feared the liberator death. Perhaps, at the end, during the final battle, he or other men of stone, would talk clearly to the asleep men to summon them for the liberation of the material chains and to fight for the return towards the origin of the Hyperborean race. Meanwhile, the man of stone will only act, will listen in silent the voice of the cold ice and will act. And his act will express the highest spiritual courage. Whatever he could make, his action will be founded in the absolute support of himself, beyond the good or the evil, and any judgment or punishment coming from the world of the deceit will not affect him. And no variant of the great deceit, neither the warm fire of the animal passion, would grant him back to the dream of the life. Wise and brave as a god, the man of stone will only fight if it is necessary and will wait in silence the final battle. He will crave for the origin, and will affect him the nostalgia for the elect of the goddess. He will seek for his original couple in the Caliber woman and, if he find her, he will love her with the cold fire of himself. And she will embrace him with the uncoated light of his eternal spirit, which will be infinite blackness for the created soul. In this third case, with security, Pyrene's promise would be fulfilled,